Everybody just stare at the camera.
Going live? Is this weird?
Hey, sup? That's right, we're live, I think. But we're gonna stall, because we're having a lot of fucking trouble tonight trying to get this show going.
Way more than we should.
Shut the fuck up, Kerry. God, I was trying to do a fucking countdown. 3, 2, 1... Welcome into the Nerded Up podcast for the third time tonight. Third time I've always heard is the charm. We are broadcasting live on Phantom, Facebook's only live sports network, just like we do every single friggin' week. I am Josh Beard at Josh Beard Radio. He is Kerry Hot Ice Craig at Kerry Hot Ice on Twitter. And we are joined, as always, by our compatriot, Stefen. I'm going to say this again because I loved it the first time. Stefen, I'm going to tell you what his Twitter handle is, but he never uses it, so I don't know why I keep giving you his Twitter handle. Mazon at Mazon's on Twitter. I confuse myself with all of that. But you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. You can also find us, where else can you find us? You can find us at facebook.com/nerdeduppod. You can find us at nerdeduppod on Twitter. And you can find us on thetotalbro.com. It's this sweet, savvy, skyrocketing new website with some awesome guys with some great writing. They write about sports and video games and movies and TV shows. We got concert reviews. We might have beer reviews soon. I mean, they, because I don't know who they are. So they do some great shit. All these sports people want us, the nerds, to talk about what we love the most, because let's be honest, when sports suck, this shit's a fuck ton better than sports. So let's just get the show going. What? It's true. Am I wrong?
When sports are shit, it's fun to fuck with them.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't say that whenever Phantom so nicely lets us broadcast our show on their sports platform. Anyway, we've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about Marvel cutting ties with Netflix in the nerdy ass news, as well as some more microtransaction bullshit. I know we've talked about that before, but we're going to talk about it again because it's still a big topic, and fuck every publishing company ever in the ass. Fuck them. Fuck them all in the ass. We're also going to Kerry and I are going to give our Xbox One X review. Stefen decided to buy a $40 billion computer each time we've broadcasted. Yes, this is the third time we've tried to do this show tonight. Somehow, the cost of Stefen's computer has gone up every time, but that's just how it works. Inflation, guys. And then we're also going to bring up EA. This is probably the biggest. Hey, speaking of fucking publishers in the ass, we're going to bring up EA buying Respawn, and we're going to have a little mini funeral for Respawn Entertainment tonight. They used to be such a great company. Their run was so short-lived. Titanfall was a pretty mediocre to more than okay game. But now they're just going to spit out absolute bullshit because they're owned by EA. And then EA is going to shoot them in the head and dump them in a ditch. Anyway, so let's start everything off with the nerdy-ass news, and we'll lead off, because I've been told we can't lead off with microtransactions because Stefen hates me. We're going to lead off with Marvel cutting ties with Netflix. Let's see if I can say everything I said the last time verbatim. I won't, so I'm not going to try it. Never mind. So my biggest concern, like Marvel has been talking about cutting ties with Netflix for a lot of their shit, or Disney in general has been talking about cutting ties with Netflix for a while now, because they're starting their own streaming service. It's a Disney streaming service, just another fucking thing we don't need, which I'm tying this into the we don't fucking need that award of the week. Is another streaming service. BBC did this with they tried to do this. They pulled Doctor Who and Downton Abbey from shit, and they might have put shit back on there. I don't know, but they tried a streaming service, didn't work out. It'll probably work out for Disney because fuck them, they're Disney. Everything works out for them. They just shit stuff out, and it ends up being it's like they just wrap their shit in gold. And people are like, fuck, it's wrapped in gold. But it's completely worthless. And
it's a limited edition shit.
Yeah. So this is my concern with Marvel cutting ties with Netflix and going to the streaming service. Obviously, they're not developing any more shows on Netflix. They're all going to be on Disney streaming service. We know that. What does this mean for the shows that are already on Netflix? I don't know that I'm going to go back and watch Iron Fist anytime soon, because that ended up being a massive pile of shit. At the end, I liked it for like the first 3/4 of the show, and then it just got really stupid. So what's going to happen with the stuff that's already on there? Is it going to stay on there, or are we going to have to buy a new fucking streaming service? I'm pretending like I'm not going to have to buy the fucking Disney streaming service for some reason, but whatever. So, Kerry, you go first since you went first last time. What do you expect, and what do you want to see happen with the Marvel shows that are already on Netflix right now?
It would be nice if they could work it out to where they could both have them, to where everyone could enjoy them. But Netflix is probably going to keep a pretty tight grip on those, especially if they come out with more seasons for Daredevil and Punisher and everything. Netflix is going to be like, hey, do you want to watch like the beginnings of those? We have them, so make sure you have our shit too. Or, Disney may reboot all the shit and, make it their own, throw a new version of it. Hey, there's this new actor. He's new and up and coming. Let's make a new fucking Daredevil or Punisher or whatever the hell you want to do.
Just get Finn Jones out of there. Like, look, I'm on board with that plan as long as Finn Jones is gone.
Just no Finn Jones-less Iron Fist. We're gonna have this. We're just gonna CGI him out of the entire series and make it better.
I'm Finn Jones. You can't do this to me. I'm the immortal Iron Fist. Just that fucking head bob.
I don't want another streaming service. I'm gonna have to get it, But
see, we're actually trying to cut back from streaming services because cutting the cord isn't as cost effective as it used to be. So we just got DirecTV and different internet, and it's cheaper. We're saving money doing it now. So we've finally created a marketplace where we could choose what we want and get the best price. So I don't want to add another fucking streaming service when I'm trying to cut back.
Good luck. It's not gonna happen.
All right, Stefen, your thoughts. What do you think? Marvel, Netflix, go!
It really comes down to what the contracts are going to be looking like. Marvel has already made this deal in the past before Disney was around with Fox, where as long as Fox kept making the movies, they got to maintain the properties. So it's very possible that we have another contract like that in this situation with Netflix. But now that Disney's in the picture and has been in the picture since those shows started, I feel like they probably have a much more ironclad contract as far as that goes. So it might have the chance that they can renew it in perpetuity, but there's a good chance that once Disney pulls out, those shows are gone.
Oh, sorry. You said once Disney pulls out. You're going to lose me every time you say that. Anyway.
Look, I understand Disney does like to fuck people, but that's not the situation right now. So they have already announced that the Disney streaming service will have a new Marvel show on it. We don't know what it is, but they've already laid the groundwork for, hey, we're leaving Netflix. This is where you need to start looking for your new superhero fix.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna buy the streaming service, so I'm okay with it. But I know I'm always gonna have Netflix. Of all the streaming services that are out there, Netflix is definitely, no matter what, I'm always gonna have it. HBO Go or HBO Now, it depends on whether or not I have HBO, or if I want to pay for it. If I want to pay for the HBO Now or whatever bullshit I go with. I don't always need HBO. I don't always need Hulu, especially now that we've got this fucking Genie DVR, now that we're back with the Devil Direct. That we might need a sponsor someday. Now that we're back with the amazing DirecTV, who has lots of great programming, sponsor us! But I may not always need that. Amazon Prime, I'm always going to have that, but it doesn't have the same library that Netflix has. Not necessarily worse or better, it just doesn't have the same. So Netflix, I know I'm always going to have it. And I don't know that I'm always going to have a Disney streaming service, especially since I've got Disney on DirecTV. So I don't know. We'll see. Plex beats all. Don't know what that means. Sorry, Michael M.O. Farmer, as we're broadcasting on Facebook. I don't know what your comment means.
It's another you get to choose, if I remember right, the channels that you want.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Thanks for your comment. Hey, if you're watching us on Facebook, on Phantom, Facebook's only live sports network, we're the Nerded Up Podcast, and we're talking about Marvel cutting ties with Netflix. Comment. Tell us what you think about this. We want to know your thoughts. Okay, I don't know why.
There's a good chance, however, that the Marvel stuff still shows up on Hulu.
Yeah.
Disney owns a 30% stake in Hulu, and they're shifting a lot of their stuff over So they've already had a Marvel exclusive TV show coming out for Hulu, The Runaways.
Yep.
Comes out here, I think, in a week or two. It looks fantastic. It actually looks maybe better than anything that's come out on Netflix so far.
I didn't think about the Hulu aspect of it because they've even got the whole section like the magic of Disney where they've got all the Disney movies on there. Right. So I'd be cool with that. Speaking of Hulu, real fast to our favorite console, and I know we're talking about the Xbox One X later, which I love, but I don't have a 4K TV yet, so it can't be my favorite. To the best console out there on the market, the Nintendo Switch just added Hulu, and it's like the best fucking thing in the world. Like, now I can play games and watch my TV shows on the shitter. What? This is amazing. But yeah, so Marvel cutting ties with Netflix. I kind of hope they leave the shit that's already on there, especially like season 1 of Daredevil. Maybe the new Punisher, which comes out on Friday. We'll talk about that next week and kind of just our thoughts after watching the first couple episodes of it. We're not going to do a preview or a full review, mostly because all the Marvel shows just started sucking. That's why I don't care that much about this, because they just kind of all started sucking. But I want at least the first season of Daredevil so I can go back and watch that whenever the mood hits me. Randy told you to drink some more, Kerry. You're not drinking enough. Drink more. Michael also says Disney Flix will take off because of the Marvel shows and kids shows. Yeah, the Disney streaming is going to be huge. And as much as I say we don't need it or we don't want it, which we don't, it's going to be fucking massive. All right, moving on in the nerdy ass news, because I said I wanted to keep this segment to 10 minutes, and I'm already going to fail. So the next part of the nerdy ass news, we're going to talk about a little thing that I saw which triggered me a bit. I'm so triggered right now about this. Very triggered. That Red Dead Redemption 2 might have more is most likely going to have a decent amount more of microtransactions than GTA 5. And from the statistics that I read, GTA, like Rockstar, made $500 million off of the microtransactions in GTA 5. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to have more. And microtransactions is a big fucking deal right now. For the most part, I really don't care. Especially like games like Overwatch and Smite, whenever it's just for cosmetic purposes, and a lot of it's just skins. It's not weapons. It's not pay to win. It's just cool shit. I mean, like the amount of money that some people have spent on Smite is astronomical and could get them in a lot of trouble. So stuff like that, it's not that big of a deal. What are you poking? No, don't.
You.
I know, Stefen. Terrible. But the cosmetic stuff, I don't have a big deal with it. And for the most part, microtransactions don't bother me. The Shadow of War microtransactions bother me a little bit, but not too much. But I started playing Assassin's Creed Origins, which I know there's a lot of people that don't like this Assassin's Creed. I think it might be my favorite. I think it's a really, really fun game. Kerry rolls his eyes. I'm guessing maybe he doesn't like it, but
no. So I'm rolling my eyes at the retards that don't like it.
Well, a lot of people say, "Oh, there's not they half-assed the Abstergo and Animus shit," which I think that's the worst part of the Assassin's Creed experience.
God.
Yeah, from the very beginning, that's been the worst part. Just I want to play the game. I don't want to be interrupted in the middle of it. I don't give a fuck about a history lesson from some bullshit perspective. Just give me the game. I know enough history as it is. But Assassin's Creed Origins, they have a fuck ton of microtransactions in their store. You can buy shields. You can buy cosmetic stuff. Fine, that's fine. But you can buy shields. You can buy tons of weapons. You can buy maps to give you all the secret areas. Like that's where it's starting to bother me. Is when you have to spend real money to get maps so you can go find all the secret areas to finish out achievements in the game. Fuck that. Like that aspect of the game, like getting game achievements and getting like 100% game completion. That's where if you start making people pay to make that easier, that's where I have a problem. Because the whole point of that isn't to fucking pay money for that. It's to earn that shit. And you're not earning it if you're paying money to get helpful, like to get shitty piece of ass maps that tell you where fucking everything is. So this is why, like, this is personally just my opinion. I think this is the most egregious microtransactions that I've seen yet. Is Assassin's Creed Origins having like making you pay for maps to get achievements? Such fucking bullshit. It's not pay to win; it's pay to achieve. Fuck you, Ubisoft. Which leads us into something that Stefen has brought up, and something that we've read and seen from a lot of people that have been playing Battlefront 2 already through EA Access, and that Battlefront 2 has possibly the worst microtransaction system we've ever seen. So, Stefen, run us through that, and then we'll react.
So the loot boxes, there's two aspects of the microtransactions in Battlefield 2. There's, the classic loot boxes, spend some money, open a box, get random stuff. However, this time around, they're not cosmetic. They're actual in-game upgrades that like reduce your cooldowns of stuff, give you better guns, give you different abilities. So that's already going way over the just for sparkles and paint jobs. But the other thing that might be worse is the game has a hero system where after you reach a certain point threshold in a game, like a kill streak in Call of Duty, you're able to play as some of your favorite Star Wars characters, Luke Skywalker, Boba Fett, whatever. Whoever you have access to and you equip is who you get to play as. Only, from looking at the list, it looked like there was maybe about 10 or 15 heroes that are accessible. When I looked on the game, it looked like 5 are unlocked for you off the bat. Mm-hmm. The other 10 you have to buy through either eventually playing enough time to unlock them or just buy them outright. To give you an example, I think Luke Skywalker was 40,000 points, Darth Vader is 60,000. Get that 60,000 credits, people have done the math. You get about 200 credits, 150 to 200 credits a game, each game being about 10 minutes long. So it takes them about 40 hours to unlock Darth Vader.
That's insane. That's asinine. I don't know
40
how many
hours of game time.
Yeah, 40 hours
like
of
match
game
time.
Yes.
I don't know how there aren't many games where I'm going to be able to spend 40 hours that many times to get the characters I want. So then it's going to force us into buying, guys. And that's going to force us into spending money that we don't really need to spend. Just let us play the game and earn them. That's so fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, to your point, sometimes the microtransactions don't turn out so bad. Like you mentioned GTA, but GTA Online is actually like there's a lot of shit on there.
That's
and
true.
It's still pushing out a lot of content, and a lot of people still play that game. That I don't think they necessarily did it wrong. I think the way they implemented it was probably the best to date, if I had to guess, because you're just paying you're paying for like just crazy shit because that's what you want to do. Having this in Red Dead Redemption, I don't know how that's going to work out, but I hate when people put the equivalent of putting the time and effort in the game to putting out a couple of bucks and it just pops into your hand automatically. That I can't stand how someone can equate that, having the time and effort to go in there and do the shit you're supposed to do to unlock this stuff, and then just, I want it, here's the money. They're fucking bribes. That's what they are. They're fucking company bribes.
That's true.
For these evil sacks of shit. That's all they are.
I know I love it whenever I give the effort to put out and it pops in my hand. All right, so this is time to move on from the nerdy-ass news, and we'll get into the big topics of the night. What are the big topics of the night? Oh, my God, what are they? Oh, well, I'm going to tell you right now. The first one, because it's going to be a short conversation, I think, because Stefen didn't even fucking buy one, which is fine, because it's expensive and there's no need. Kerry and I are just, like, Kerry has a bunch of expendable money. I have no impulse control. This is why we have the Xbox One X. So Kerry and I are going to do our Xbox One X review real fast. I'm going to go first, mainly because I like going first. I like talking more. Mine's going to be short, though. Kerry will have more to say, because I don't have a 4K TV yet. I have been told and promised that there will be one forthcoming come holiday time, so I'm excited. But the games that I've played so far, Assassin's Creed Origin, Call of Duty World War II, Shadow of War, Smite, Fortnite, and Oblivion, which apparently Oblivion got enhanced with Xbox One enhanced game. Like we've talked, Kerry has an article on the TotalBro.com right now about how Bungie has pissed him off once again for delaying the Destiny 2 4K HDR update. So go check that out on the TotalBro.com. He gets a little salty in that article, but we don't have Destiny 2 4K HDR update. No, it's not enhanced yet, but we have fucking Oblivion for some god-awful reason, whatever. So I've played those games, and I just have a 50-inch plasma. It's a pretty damn decent TV, but it's not 4K HDR, and I can tell a difference. I can tell a massive difference in the games because I played them on the S before, and now I'm playing them on the X, and it looks fucking beautiful. And I thought, whenever they're talking about the Xbox One X, how can they enhance these to make them look better on just the TV that I already have without having a 4K TV? I didn't think it was possible. Or I thought the changes, the enhancements were going to be so minute that you could tell a little bit, but not really. But from the games that I played so far, it's a pretty substantial difference. Every single game I've played on that thing looks beautiful. The Xbox One X runs super fast. I'm really, really glad I bought it. My wife is not. My bank account, I think, is okay with it for right now. But I'm ecstatic. I love this machine. I thought I was going to keep the One S and the One X, but I have no reason to play the One S ever again. I was going to keep that upstairs, and I was going to keep the other one downstairs. I'll never be up here playing on the One S. There's no reason to. The One X is the superior console on the market right now. It's better than the PS4 Pro. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I've seen the PS4 Pro. It's a phenomenal machine, and the PS4 fanboys love it. That's cool. Play on the console that you love. And if you love the PS4, that's great. But the Xbox One X, it's better. It's better. It's got more teraflops. I don't fucking know what that means, but it's got more of them flops. I think the game that I've played so far that looks the best on it, surprisingly, or sorry, not the best, but the biggest difference, surprisingly, is Smite. I think Smite is where I've seen the biggest difference between just the regular Xbox One version and the enhanced version on the One X. It looks so clean and crisp. It's phenomenal. But that's my way to go. Go.
I mean, I was gonna mention that. I mean, the 4K, the difference between Smite, the regular version, and the 4K enhanced version, it's like almost a completely different game.
Yep.
I mean, it looks so smooth and crisp and pretty. And even the character models look different. I mean, they just look smoother. Mm-hmm. The game just looks better. And I mean, but that's, that goes hand in hand with all their 4K enhancements. I do have a 4K TV, and when I first loaded up, the first game I loaded up was Forza because that's the big gigantic install time that was going to take the longest. So I was like, all right, I might as well get it over with.
How long did it take you to install that? Because that's the biggest problem with the One X right now, and the biggest issue people are having is just that because of those enhancements to 4K and HDR, the installs are fucking huge. And I'm gonna have once I get a 4K TV, I'm gonna have to get an external hard drive.
It was pretty long. I think total it was like 93, 94 gigs that had to be installed. Which is insane. That's a fuck ton of gigs. But I mean, when the game started up and you got to see those cars, holy fuck, was it worth it? I mean, the first car I pulled up had a color scheme on it where depending on how the light hits it is what color it is. Mm-hmm. And then I took that out on a rainy day track, and just the weather effects, everything that was going on, it just looked like you're not in a game at that point. You're sitting behind the wheel of a car in this gigantic TV that I have, and it looks phenomenal. The same thing with Assassin's Creed Origins. I was just running around the old Egypt, and I was climbing a mountain. I was like, damn, this mountain looks good. And I had climbed like 200 meters or whatever, and I just I panned the view over to the background, and I just saw for fucking forever.
Yeah.
Like the draw distance is insane. You can see everything in the damn game. It's crazy. And Shadow of War was the same way. And I have to and if I'm saying if I gotta choose between all those games about which one has been my favorite, graphically, I would still say Smite. Mm-hmm. But Shadow of War is like one of the most entertaining games I've ever played. The fucking orcs in that game are so hilarious.
It's okay.
And you damn naysayers, we're just so against it, but it is so damn entertaining. I love that game.
It's okay. I haven't gotten deep enough into it to say whether or not to agree or disagree with you.
You don't even know. You have to first. You got to storm the fortress, then you got to ride the dragons, then you got to burn the people alive with the dragons. That's what you need. That
sounds like you're telling me to do sex stuff with you, and I'm not into that sort of thing, bud. Yeah, I'll just wait until Friday when Skyrim comes out on the Switch, and then I can Skyrim and poop. That's the new Netflix and chill for dads. That's going to be the new thing. If you've got a Switch console, it's not Netflix and chill, it's Skyrim and poop.
Skyrim and poop.
Skyrim and poop. But yeah, I need to dive more into Shadow of War, but I'm impressed with it. I can't wait until I get a 4K TV, and then really honestly what I'm really looking forward to with the One X is a year, 2 years from now, when we see these games release that have been really, really optimized for the One X. Honestly, PS4 fanboys, I'm sorry. This machine is so superior. In like the next 2 to 3 years, you're gonna start to see less and less exclusives on the PS4 because they're gonna want to play their games and they're gonna want to release their games on the superior console. So, if that pisses off Sony people, I'm not trying to piss you off. I'm just trying to be honest. I have both consoles. I like both consoles. I play both consoles. But the Xbox One X is the superior machine. So get over it. Deal with it. Fuck you. Don't fuck you. Keep watching. Anyway, we are the Nerd Up Podcast, broadcasting on Phantom, Facebook's only live sports network. That's our quick Xbox One X review. Comment. Tell us what you think. If you think I'm a fucking idiot for talking shit about the PS4, tell me about it. I'll listen. I don't care. I'm not afraid of you. Let's fight. We'll meet somewhere, bitch. I don't know why I did that. Okay, but next up, we're going to talk about the last and final thing that I wanted to actually... we might talk about two things, but if we have enough time, we'll talk about a second thing, but the main thing I want to talk about is a piece of shit publisher and the number one enemy in the gaming community, EA, buying Respawn Entertainment, a developer who obviously spawned from the original Infinity Ward. A bunch of them left because Activision is a piece of shit, and they left Respawn, or they left Infinity Ward, created Respawn, and then made the mistake of allying themselves with EA. They just got bought out by EA because they're sellout bastards, and it's just the future corpse that EA is going to leave behind behind their wake of death of the multitude of developers that they've abolished on their way through the game, like on their reign of terror over the gaming community is the best way to put it. So Respawn's fucked, and let's just go ahead and say our goodbyes now. Let's go ahead and have our funeral now. Everything good that they've done with Titanfall and Titanfall 2, you can just say goodbye to that. They're never going to have anything good with either of those things ever. What EA does. So
Facebook too.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Oh, did I die again?
No, you paused for a little bit.
No, hopefully okay. I didn't pause on Facebook. Anyway, so okay.
Yep.
Well, let's reset.
Reset and go.
Go. Okay, so Respawn's dead in the water. We're gonna have a funeral. We're gonna say goodbye to Respawn. Did you want Titanfall with microtransactions? Well, you're gonna fucking get it now. If you love those microtransactions, you can get it with Titanfall 6. Titanfall 6, back in the saddle. That's what it's going to be called because fucking EA. So how do we feel? Stefen, you go first. How do we feel about EA buying Respawn? Are they fucked, or is there a chance that this developer is good enough that they can actually fight against the publisher?
I don't know if there's going to be much fighting because EA has supported Respawn since its inception. If EA had bought Respawn on the initial launch of Titanfall 1, Respawn would probably be already dead because Titanfall 1 arguably failed pretty miserably. With Titanfall 2 being fairly successful and a well received game, that was early this year, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the single player alone was like lauded as being one of the best first person shooters in a while. EA might be giving it, they might stick it on some random games here and there, like they did with Visceral. But I have high hopes. EA, I don't think is as bad as they used to be. I think Activision's slowly taking up that mantle. But EA doing this shebang with Star Wars is trying to recoup it and carry on its legacy. So I don't know. Respawn has a little bit of a chance, in my opinion.
Did is Vince Zampella still with the company? He's still with Respawn?
With Respawn, yes, I believe so. I believe its staff has been maintained. I don't think there's been any, at least like the big head honchos.
So I'm not as concerned as I would be if he had left the company like he did with Infinity Ward. But I kind of just hope this means Respawn will get more focus and not just be kind of a side partner like it usually was. I want a better Titanfall. Mm-hmm. I want that single player experience in the multiplayer world, because the first Titanfall multiplayer was great. People hated, there was no single player experience and people fucking hated it. Next go around, single player experience was great. Not that much change in the multiplayer experience for the second one. I didn't care enough to stick with it. So hopefully we can get, a core game that is much more worth our time now that they have acquired it. But who knows? They might run it into the ground like they usually do.
You know what's sad is the multiplayer wasn't really that bad. And
it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. But there was just nothing, like, it was just because how many times do we ask for, like, oh, why'd you change this? Why'd you change that? And the one time a company really kind of doesn't, they change a little bit of the multiplayer experience, but they don't change much of it. And it's still good. It's still really solid. And we're like, it's too similar. We're such, like, the gaming community. I will say one thing about us, and hey, I'm one of the worst about this. We're so fucking fickle. Where it's like, don't change. Well, now that you didn't change, I kind of wanted something different. But if they had changed, we'd be like, why'd you fucking change that? It was so good. And then we'd just find something to complain about. But it's weird because Titanfall 2 was such a good game, and I felt like we had a lot of fun with it. And the single player was phenomenal. Stefen, how many times have you and I talked about how the elements that they had in the single player campaign are shit that we've never seen or experienced in any game before? Some of the switching through time periods, the time stopping, shit like that, was the way they incorporated it into missions was phenomenal. But it was just weird. It was just, there was no pull to keep playing the game. And I think part of it was also when it released, there were some other games that were coming out, and then every time we get into a game, we're like, hey, let's play a match of Smite, and then we just never play anything else for like 3 months. The only time that hasn't happened is with Fortnite, because I hate Smite right now for some reason, and I love Fortnite so much that anytime we play, both of y'all shut up. Anytime I play Smite, I get pissed and want to go back to Fortnite. But usually when we say, hey, let's play Smite, that's all we end up playing for like the next month or two. And I think honestly, Titanfall 2 just kind of fell victim to that. But it wasn't just us; it was everybody else. It's disappointing. Yeah. It's disappointing that they couldn't do something to keep us there. And so maybe EA can bring them that. I don't know.
Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Fuck EA. EA is stupid. All right, so we do have a little bit of time for one last conversation, one last thing that I want to talk about, and that is, like I said, the game that I love so much right now, Fortnite Battle Royale. I wrote an article for the TotalBro.com, which you can find the Nerded Up podcast on as we're broadcasting on Phantom, Facebook's only live sports network. Bam! Branding! Just go to the TotalBro.com. I wrote an article about 4 reasons why Fortnite is better than PUBG. And you know what? You can talk shit and you can be angry at me all you want, but honestly, this is just personal preference. It's an opinion. I've played PUBG quite a bit on the PC, and I've played Fortnite quite a bit on the Xbox, and I prefer Fortnite. There's more action. It's fast. It's more fast paced. I don't have to lay in a cornfield for fucking 30 minutes trying to hide from people. I hide in a bush for 15 minutes, and then I kill people when I sneak up behind them. It's a completely different experience. But go read that article because I give my reasons why. But honestly, just Fortnite has been such a fun experience, and I'm in love with Epic Games right now. When we're talking about developers and publishers, what Epic has done with this game, on not just the PvP but with the PvE as well, is they've turned Fortnite into almost what Smite has been for us with high res for the last couple of years, where it's a game that we want to keep going back to because I feel like the developers are listening to us, they're constantly adding shit for us, and they're making it a better game every chance they get. The latest update, people love it. I kind of 50-50 on it. I love it and I don't love it because of that fucking bush. I love killing people with the fucking bush camouflage, but god damn it, when there's when there's only like 3 teams left and Stefen and I are walking through a field and we're about to make it to the fucking zone and set up a nice badass base and I get killed by 2 bush people, fuck those people and fuck that bush. But Epic is a great developer and they're doing some really cool shit with Fortnite. Fortnite's better optimized. Yeah, it's cartoony, but that helps it be more optimized. I feel like the gun plays better. The guns react the way I expect them to react from games that I've played before. And then the building and destruction aspect is fucking badass. I love the vertical flanking that you can do by building ramps real fast. I love building a fort. People say, "Oh, if you want Minecraft, go play Minecraft." Well, it's not like Minecraft. If you're one of the people that say, "Well, it's like Minecraft," go fuck yourself. Like it's the only dissimilarities between that and Minecraft is that the word, like, you can build shit. That's where the similarities stop. You build completely different things in completely different ways, and it brings a new, like a cool aspect to the combat that PUBG just doesn't have. PUBG's gunplay is bullshit. I can't tell you how many times I've been fucked by frame lag and stutters and random ass bullshit. Close quarters combat in PUBG is fucking, it's the most asinine thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Fortnite's is actually pretty damn good. When I die, it's because I suck. It's not because the game sucks itself. And so this is a game I think might end up, it could, if we keep playing it, could end up taking over as my favorite game over Smite. And I'm going to be playing this for quite a while, especially if Epic keeps doing the stuff that they're doing, where they're adding more, listening to the player base, and giving us cool shit. And we can always jump into the PvE anytime. So Fortnite's my favorite game right now, and it's better than PUBG. It's not even close. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know how much experience. Stefen, I know you haven't played PUBG at all, but you're going to with your new $50 billion computer that you bought. So what do you guys think, Fortnite versus PUBG? Or Fortnite in general? Your thoughts on Fortnite?
Well, I've never played PUBG, so I'm just going to have to go with Fortnite as a better game.
It's de facto.
Okay, then just your general thoughts on Fortnite. My God.
Still a great game, and like you said, I love Epic. It's kind of funny how much they listen to their player base and how much they don't listen to other developers.
Yeah,
they're very antithetical to other gaming companies, but they're very support their player base like no other. I haven't played it as much as you guys, but because I play, just tons of everything. I think I play Smite more than the both of you right now, which is really weird to say. I don't know what happened with that dynamic.
The Nintendo Switch, the best console in the universe. Skyrim and poop. Hashtag Skyrim and poop. They added Hulu. I don't know what to tell you.
But Fortnite is still, it's a really good game. I have a lot of fun with it. Solo, squads. Mm-hmm. Squads probably more so, just because I love just fucking with the two of you so much when we're doing that. But yeah. I love the game.
I followed PUBG a lot, and I've had this conversation with several people because I'm trying to push Fortnite amongst the people that I know, just to kind of get it out there. I have a lot of people that are holding. This is always a problem when you have a game that looks the way that Fortnite does, with like kind of this like cartoony aesthetic to it. Mm-hmm. Or this like unique, like, if you think about like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and stuff like that, that kind of aesthetic that like makes it different. People instantly say that it's more of a kid's game or more of a simpler game. And PUBG, people are touting as like the more hardcore game. I gotta be honest, I think Fortnite is a much more strategic game.
Yes. In
just the aspect of being able to build your own cover, being able to bridge gaps between places. In PUBG, you wouldn't be able to get to like the top of a mountain unless there was a path specifically made to get to that top of a mountain. Whereas in like Fortnite, someone's on top of a building, it's not impossible to tear the building down and watch them fall to their death.
Right. Well, how many? Just the other night, we thought we had this badass fortification, and then this entire other squad just starts building a series of fucking ramps and just just ate our faces alive because we didn't know how to fucking react to it.
We got dropped in from above.
Yeah, you don't expect the vertical flanking aspect in a game like that, and that's what makes it more. Somebody said that because guns are harder to find in PUBG, it makes it more hardcore.
They're not. They're not.
They're not. Well, they're easier to find in Fortnite, but are you fucking telling me that the fact that everybody can find a pretty decent weapon within the first 20 seconds of Fortnite makes it an easier game? Get the fuck out of here. If everybody in the goddamn game has a pretty decent quality weapon within the first 30 seconds, that makes it a fuck ton harder. That's why that makes the beginning of the game a lot more fun. It makes it a lot more entertaining whenever you jump into, like, if you jump into the Pleasant Park or whatever, or you jump into Retail Row, you go into the prison, and you just try to survive, because if you get out of those places with some pretty decent weapons, and you get out of there alive, you most likely will win the match. Pleasant Park, I've been dropping in solo almost every single time. Like 70-80% of the time, I make it out of there alive. A couple of times I die because it's fucking difficult to get out of there. But you can get out of there with like a purple and an orange. But if you're telling me if everybody goes to those areas and you're fighting like this big team deathmatch for the first like minute and a half of the game, that makes it fucking easier. Get out of here. It's stupid. It's less hardcore because people can build up to you in whenever you have the height advantage, and they can take away your advantages. That's what Fortnite is all about. You could take away people that have built up and like at these awesome shit, or they have they're like holed up in this great area. You can take that advantage away from them so quickly. In PUBG, if somebody has the advantage, you might just be fucked. In Fortnite, you can balance it out with building and destruction, and it's phenomenal. The best thing is having a fucking rocket launcher or a pumpkin launcher with like 20 rounds. I'm like, fuck your metal. Your fort is done, and I'm going to kill you inside of it. It's just a great game. It's a good game. I enjoy it very much, and anybody who says PUBG is better, I think they're different experiences. I think both of them are fun. I personally prefer Fortnite over PUBG, but anybody who says that PUBG is clearly better for the bullshit reasons that they've given, they're full of shit, and they can shut the fuck up. Unless it's you watching the Nerded Up podcast on Phantom, Facebook's only live sports network. Not fuck you, because we want you to keep watching us. Thank you so much for watching us tonight. Everybody say bye. Bye. Stefen, say bye. No, you're waving. I want you to say bye.
Man.
No, that's not okay. Yeah, all right, you can find us. You can find us on Facebook.com/NerdedUpPod. You can find us at NerdedUpPod on Twitter. You can check us out on TheTotalBro.com. All these sports places sponsoring us. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. I'm going to start putting this up on YouTube. I'm going to email it to you personally, everybody in the world. I'm going to actually put it on a DVD and mail it to your house. I might personally hand deliver it to your house. Any way I can get more people to watch this, that's what I'm going to do. So check us out on all these things that you see. Like, I think it's like, nope, wrong way. It's that, nope, can't figure out. There, right there. Check us out on all those spots right there. We broadcast every Sunday at 9 to 9:30, depending on if my computer and my shit's working or not, or whatever technical difficulties we have. So check us out every Sunday on Phantom, Facebook's only live sports network. Thank you for watching us, and we will catch you next time.